All right. Okay, so it is Friday, and it's time for building out. It's time to actually write some code. I'm here to write some code. Hey, I don't know. Maybe this show should be called Writing Code. Hey, I don't know. I'm here to write code. I don't know what you're here for. To watch me write code, I guess. If you were writing code, you wouldn't be watching a YouTube video. This is a shitty intro. Do the little YouTube dance, like, comment, subscribe, all that happy horse shit. I'm doing a shitty job all week this week, I guess. But here's the thing. I have spent the past few days, well, the past couple of days, today and yesterday, I have spent it working on a variety of bugs and issues in my workspace. I have gotten rid, if you were here last week, you saw me kind of getting annoyed that my output was full of all these errors from a bunch of bullshit. And it's not my code. Why am I getting errors? It's not for my code. I have gotten those errors to go away. I'm not sure how I got those errors to go away, but I did, and that's what matters. So, yay. I don't know where they came from. They're not my code. They're somebody else's code. Now, there's a bunch of stuff in the game that has been kind of a pain to work with. Now, let me check something here. Have I got? Is it in the player? What's the have I got an exported variable somewhere for the time limit? And where is it? Is it in the playfield? Looks like the playfield is doing okay. Seconds in playfield.cs. Public double main timer. Okay. Let's export that so I can set it directly in the main. Let's actually show you my screen. Ooh, that's the wrong screen. This screen. You want to see this screen? Yeah, that's the one. That's the ticket. Yeah, there we are. Okay, so you'll see that I have changed a whole bunch of sprites. I'm not sure whether you saw this last time, but I changed all of the sprites around and I made things look nicer. I have not actually chosen a new sprite for the gropers yet, but I have changed out. If I jump in here, if I fire things up, I can wander around, and you can see I've got this grassy field that I'm running around on. And in this grassy field, I have got bushes and trees and all that stuff. You can see I've got actual treasure chests and bushes, and the reason that I have this blue area is because you can't see the bullets you're firing on the grass. So I had to mess around with that a little bit. You'll also notice that the experience drops are now little pairs of panties. And the gold drops look like gold. And the trees are actual trees, and the bushes are actual bushes, and I've got a bunch of work to do over here to make things look good, but I am doing it. And I had a whole bunch of bugs to fix as I was working on this. Now, the important bug that I want to talk to you about is collision layers. Collision layers in Godot are god awful. That's not fair, okay? It's a good system. It's a very good system, and the system works well, okay? It's just that I don't really understand it very well. And the big thing is, I did experiment a little bit. I've got my collectible that can only be picked up by a player. You can see here, it's on mask layer 7. The mask is a thing that can be collided with, and the layer is a thing that can collide with it. So I have this player pickup layer, which if you go and you look at the player object, you'll see that the player has a collision layer of 7 on their pickup. Okay, their pickup range area has a collision layer of 7. Meanwhile, their hitbox has a collision area of 3, which is the player strike, which is the player can be hit. Now, I've been messing around with this, and I've been doing all kinds of stuff, and I'm no expert on this system. A lot of it doesn't seem to be documented, or the documentation is hard for me to understand, or I'm not paying attention, because like 90% of the bugs that you find in your code are because you were just kind of phoning it in and not paying attention. Like, I have only just exported the timer for the playfield object. We've got this main timer here is 180 seconds. I can change that to 30. And once I change that to 30, I can fire this up. And now I have a 30-second timer, which makes it much easier to do little debugging things and whatnot. And a lot of these little things that you do within the game, you have to kind of look at these. Like the player has just picked up 2 experience. That's a total of 15 experience, and there's a total enemy spawn of 9. And I'm sitting here and I'm scratching my head and I'm going, if 9 enemies were spawned, and each enemy is worth 2 experience, why did I only pick up 15 experience? Is there more experience floating around on the screen? Here's a collectible, and this collectible is at there's a location for this collectible. Let's scroll down and see where it is. It's got a collision mask of 6 and 7, which means it's a piece of experience. Yeah, it's from the experience scene. And if I look all the way up here, we've got, I don't have any information on what information is inside of it, what data is inside of it, but it is at minus 590, 170, and the player is at, where's the player? Where's my position? We're at minus 2025. Okay. So if I head back in this direction, there we go. Now, if I pick that up, I should have 18 experience. And it's 17. Why is it only 17? Why is it only 17 experience? That's a question. What is going on here? Okay, so drop to experience. Player picked up to experience. Huh. I'm gonna have to scroll through that and see what's going on, but with 9 enemies spawned, I should have picked up 18 experience, but I only picked up 17. Why did I only pick up 17? That's a fairly important question. I did end up picking up the full 200 gold. That's good, but there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff missing here, and what's happened here is almost certainly that I got sloppy about something, and I need to look at it a little bit more closely. Like when I come in here and I go, here's the max health is 2, and the cur health is 2. Then max health plus equals amount, cur health plus equals amount. Yeah. And then when we drop the experience down here, dropping max health experience, so yeah. I wonder what is going on here. It's something obvious that I'm not seeing, and I'm not picking up on it. I wanted to do a pause menu this week, so that would make life easier. Because I know we have the pause menu actually in Godot right here, but I'm exporting this to a Steam build and running it through Steam to make sure that it works there. And the pause menu in Godot doesn't work when you're exported to Steam, so I had to build a pause menu for that. But yeah, the collision layers and collision masks in Godot, I still haven't fully internalized which one does what. Like the mask is I can be picked up, and the layer is I can pick stuff up, and it really isn't about picking up and being picked up. It's about sending notifications and receiving notifications, and I don't fucking know. It hasn't clicked for me yet, but it's actually playing with the code that actually does stuff, and that's the important thing. I think that's the most important thing to get across about developing a game. Once you can actually see your game working and running, and you can experiment with it, and you can do stuff, and you can try this and try that and see if this works and see if that works. Once you actually get into that process, you really start to understand a whole lot more about how the underlying systems work. So I should start seeing a bunch of that, like, real soon now. Honestly, I should know a lot more about Godot at this point than I do. I've been using it for like 5 years, but I don't really. This is the first time I've produced something that I would term a playable game. It's a game that's actually fun, that I would actually play, but it's still at the point where every time I run it, I go, that's fucked up, and I have to worry about fixing something. So there's more flailing around and trying to figure out what I need to do and how I need to do it than there is experimenting and trying new things and messing with stuff. It's like one of the things that I've been doing all along is if you look at the bullet scene, okay? If you look at the bullet scene over here, and let's go ahead and stop this. If you look at the bullet scene, you can see that I have this little arrow sprite that I made. And you'll also see that it's sitting on the ground. Now, I didn't used to sit on the ground. If you were paying attention back at the beginning stages of this game, it used to sit substantially above the ground because the way it is now, the arrow would fire from the character's feet. It would fire from the origin of the player. And the origin of the player is here. It's this little space right here. It's this one point. You can't have your arrows firing from there. They need to fire from up around here. So to get the arrows firing from up around there, I had to look at that, and I had to scroll up here and go, okay, well, how high up is that? And originally, I had that set in the bullet scene. I said, well, that's 50 pixels above the x-axis on the y-axis. Now, the problem with that is when I started rotating the bullet, it was rotating around its own origin. It was rotating around the scene's origin. So depending on which direction you were moving, the bullets were coming from a different place. And in order to fix that, I had to put the origin of the scene back where it is. And what I found was that it's a smarter idea when the crossbow fires the bullet to, if we jump into the crossbow scene here, it's a better idea to instantiate the projectile at a particular position, to set the position of the projectile beforehand. Okay? So we've got here a shot set global position, and we use get global position, but then we add the position. We add an offset, which is the offset on the player that the bullet fires from. And we add that in the shot effort, because now I can reuse this bullet class as an arrow that gets fired from anything. And if the arrow needs to be fired from somewhere else, I can do that and it'll work fine. Just better for reusability. And everything's so sloppy right now. It just really is. And there's no way around it. Everything's going to be sloppy for an extended period of time. And I've been talking about my code, and you can't see the code because I switched to the full screen camera. So anyway, if you look at this scene here that has the bullet in it, you'll see that the bullet is sitting right on the ground, which would shoot from the player's feet. And we don't want it to shoot from the player's feet. We want it to shoot from the player's chest. So to shoot it from the player's chest, we have to lift it up, and we have that done within the class, where we set the position we want it to fire from, which is right here. Originally, the position is 0, and then when the system is ready, in the ready function here, we offset the Y position by 50 points. So that it'll show up in the correct place. We lift it up on the y-axis by 50. I don't really like doing that, but it's localized. It's localized to the type of weapon, and because it's localized to the type of weapon, that's fairly portable and fairly reusable. There is so much stuff in here that I need to move around, and I didn't get to moving any of it around. I have all this stuff that I wanted to hoist into a higher level. It's like I want to refactor the health object, and I want to refactor the inventory object. And what I have currently got is not language server for Roslyn Copilot integration. Why is there Copilot integration? I don't want Copilot integration. Get this AI shit out of my fucking code. Sorry, it's very annoying to be watching that. I switched back to the straight cam. It looks like I did. Okay, I guess that's okay. Anyway, I have done a bunch of stuff, and I have made a bunch of progress, and it's getting in the way of fixing the things that I want to fix, because I'm fixing little shitty problems that I've got in here. Like, one of the things that I've got that you may or may not have noticed is, if you look here, I've got this one lone tree that's sitting off in the middle of a field, and that is to let me know where I am. I don't really need that right now, because within the play field, I've got ground 1 set to this blue texture, so I could see the bullets on it, and that's not working out too well. Let me open that ground texture. we come into this ground texture, and let's add a let's edit this, and we'll do some tonal correction, brightness and contrast. Let's turn the brightness down. What's that? Yeah, okay. So now we'll save that, and we'll save that as ground dark. All right. And now we'll come over here, and let's just take ground dark, drag it in there, and we'll see how that works. Let's go ahead and run that, and we'll see if the bullets are more visible. And they are, in fact, more visible. I don't know if I'm happy how visible they are. Yeah, see, there's 19. Let me spawn 9. Why do I have half points? Getting half points. Player takes 3.5 damage, 2.5. Ah! Dropping 10.5 experience. Okay, yeah, okay. Why did I get 19? The maths are off on this. There's something, I've gotten sloppy in here somewhere. But you can see here that here the player takes 3.5 damage and has 2.5 remaining. That 0.5 damage is because we have a groper that picked up 2 experience. Okay? We have the player took 1 damage. When the player took 1 damage, they dropped 1 experience. And because they dropped 1 experience, then the groper ended up picking up 1 experience and having a total of 3 experience. So because the player lost 1 right there, later on we have so this the thing here is that this groper has an odd quantity of experience. Because the groper has an odd quantity of experience, picks up experience from another, because you can see the process right here. The player, we start off, we kill groper number 1. The player picks up the experience. That's 2 experience. They have a total, that's a total of 3 experience, and the current is 3. It's because the player starts with 1 experience, because otherwise he'd be dead. And again, 2 experience, player pickup, 2 experience, total 5, current 5. Player pickup, collecting 50 gold, dropping 2 experience. Player pickup, that was a player pickup of the gold, not of the experience. Pickup, the player picks up 2 experience, so we've got 7, current 7. Player takes 1 damage and has 6 remaining. The groper picks up 1 experience. Total is 3, current is 1. Then it drops 3 experience. Another groper drops 2 experience. There's a groper pickup that the groper picks up 3 experience for a total of 5. The groper picks up 2 experience for a total of 7. Another groper dies, drops 2 experience. The big, powerful groper then hits the player with its total of 7 experience and does half its experience total in damage, because as they pick up experience, they get stronger. So the player had a current had a current health of 6. It took 1 damage, 6 remaining. It took 3.5 damage, has 2.5 remaining. The Groper then picks up 3.5 experience for a total of 10.5. Then drops the 10.5 experience. Dropping 2 experience, dropping 2 experience. Total enemy spawn is 9. Player pickup. 2 experience, 2 experience, 10.5 experience, 2 experience. The total is 19. The current is 19. That's accurate. Okay, we've got accurate experience drops at this point. And there should, if we check in the remote, there should not be any collectibles left over here. Okay. Yeah, we've collected all the collectibles. Okay, so that's accurate. And that's exactly the kind of detail you need to go through your results with to see what's going on. One of the things that I want to add to this is I want to add replays. I'm not entirely happy with this playfield, but I do think it's good enough for the moment. So I'm going to move ground dark into all of these. So now, what did I just do? I think I just hit the end key or something. Or when it mounts to the end key, anyway. Okay, there we go. I think that's gonna work out. Anyway, do a little YouTube dance, like, comment, subscribe, all that happy horse shit. Progress is being made. Things are being done. I'm fairly happy with how things are turning out. So, root node is recommended to not be transformed. Huh. I've seen that warning before. And I feel like there's some important insight I'm missing on it. Anyway, it is closing up on 4 o'clock. And it's Friday. And it's closing up on the end of the day. And when it hits the end of the day, when sundown hits, I gotta light candles and I gotta stop work. So all of this stuff needs to get shut down. So I can be ready to start work. And I better jump off of here like right now, so I can have everything uploaded before it's time to light candles. It's not okay to do work on Shabbat. So I do appreciate every single one of you for showing up and building out. I've got to figure out what the fuck's going on with this intro. Anyway, this is 2 weeks of getting shit done on schedule, more or less. Barely, but it is what it is. So yeah, that's what I got for you, and we'll do another week of this next week. It's what another week of it means. Okay, bye.